Hello. Welcome to nighttime at Mr. Dan's house. Welcome. It's lovely here. I've decided I don't like the light at night. I like the daylight. I need to work on the lighting. Live and learn. So, today you are going to learn how to make pages. Just get around in the program. We'll start making the page a little bit. But today is mostly about just getting you comfortable with what the program does, just kind of how it works. Be aware that the program is a website, so websites crash, things happen. You'll learn very quickly that you should save your page often. It's not like a Google Doc where it automatically saves all the time. You have to manually save it, and I'll show you that. As you watch the video, what I want you to do is to listen to a step, pause the video, go do the step, right, so that you can rewind it or play it again if you need to. And it's not going too fast, which is why I recorded it instead of trying to do it all together. So while you're watching the video, assuming you're watching it during class time like you're supposed to, I will be in our little chat room, and you can just pop in there, turn your mic on, ask me a question, type it in, whatever. Odds are you'll only be the only one in there at the time. And I'll try and walk you through what's going on. If you get anything really weird on your screen and you can't figure it out, screenshots are good, right? You can just email me the screenshot, and I might be able to help that way too. But hopefully there won't be any problems. So, in order to get started, if you remember, I had you fill out the Google form the other day to get your information, copy-paste into the yearbook program so that you are now an official user and you have access to our book, so you get to write on it. Keep in mind that all the pages in the book, right now we're doing practice pages, but pretend they're real pages. If you aren't working on a certain page, you don't want to touch anything on that page, right? You don't want to mess up somebody else's work. So you'll all be assigned your own page to work on. So only go to your page, right, for now. We'll have time to kind of look at everybody else's later on after we do some work. But we don't want to mess up other people's pages and log into them when they're on there. Again, not like a Google Doc. You can't have multiple people working on a page at the same time, one at a time. So, the first thing you need to do is, since I logged you in as a user, you need to look in your email, your school email, and find a message from Balfour, B-A-L-F-O-U-R. It should say something about setting a password. Follow the directions, set yourself a password, and then you can log in. And your login should be your name. I don't know. It'll say it there. Give your name. It's probably your school login. The front part, but we'll check it out. Here's how you can tell whether it works. Okay, so once you set up your login, you will go to the website, which is studio.balfour.com. Studio, S-T-U-D-I-O, .balfour, B-A-L-F-O-U-R.com. Take you to the login. You can submit, obviously. And your opening screen looks like this. Theoretically, it'll say 2021 Armstrong High School up yonder. If I set it up right. So it's a possibility. And you can feel free to click around. Yours will look a little different. I have a few more options. But just this main thing, it'll show you when you log in what our progress is. The only way that goes up is when we actually send them to the printer. And they're like done, locked off, set to go, can't change them. They're in the book. Last year we did not get a lot in there. Early on we had some problems. The pictures from the IDs didn't come until later, and some things got messy. But not as messy as they were in the spring. But once we send stuff in, and this year will be easier because we're going to start at the front of the book and just keep going. So if things get moved around in schedule, it won't throw us off. And if we get to the end and we have 4 extra pages, we can just not print 4 pages. Versus having, in the spring, there were like empty pages in the middle of the book, which you don't want to happen. That's bad. So hopefully by the end of the semester, we'll be at 30%, 40%. Not quite halfway because there'll be a lot of stuff that's like almost done, but not quite done, or waiting for like, I don't know, like the theater page. We can do the fall show, but we can't do the musical, right? So there'll be some like halfway done stuff. So eventually get to 100%, and then when you do 100%, every time you log in, all these fireworks go off. It's like celebrate. I like the fireworks because that means we're done. So when you come in, you're going to hit Launch Encore. It's the blue button over on the right side. And you get click. And then I'm going to get a screen. You won't see this screen. That screen is for the advisor to set up all the options like the colors and the fonts and all that kind of stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. So you're going to get a blank page that looks like this. Up in the top left is where you're going to save. So your little 3 little lines there is your little save menu. Then you have some settings. So you don't need to worry about those right now. And then your tools that will get you around, or your main menu items that are going to get you around the program, are these 3 up here. So the first one says Open Pages here. The second one, the green one, is obviously a camera, so that's where our photos are going to be. And the yellow one is the library. For the most part, you're going to use the photos and the pages. Photos, pages. I'll just quick show you what the library is, so you know. This would be where the templates go. And the templates are like, here's an example. So these are, they have some preset ones that people can use. Most schools our size, and we have enough people that we're going to make our own. But you're free to kind of pick around and look at them. So up here in the top, where it says Custom, that's where ours will be. So we'll make our own, and I'll help make them, and then when they get locked in, we'll upload them. So like, let's say we're doing all the pages with all the ID pictures. You don't want to lay out a separate layout every single time, all those little boxes. So you do it one time, put the template in here, and then you just drag that over to all the other pages. So it goes really fast once you have it set up. So you can feel free to kind of click around and take looks and see what you kind of like, which is fun. There's backgrounds. So, pretty lights in the background, and there's textures, and there's backgrounds that go with all the different templates that they made, like colors and all that. We don't use a lot of backgrounds. We use them on the special pages, right? We can use them on like the divider pages, stuff like that. But we don't use a lot of them. If you use lots of stuff, it tends to come off as a little kiddie, middle schooly or something like that. But we will have colors and stuff. There's graphics. Again, we try and go light on these, but sometimes you need an emoji, and you just can't upload them off your phones and stuff because it doesn't really work. So they have little things, and sometimes there's little symbols we need, and for some reason you just need an avocado. Who doesn't need an avocado? This is where all the fonts live. We will pick some fonts that work together. We usually have like one for the headlines, and one for the the writing, the copy, and one for captions. So we have a couple to pick from, and then we can preset them all. So like, all you have to do is click caption, and then it'll go right to the right size font and the right one, so you don't have to like how big was it? Was it 10 point? Was it 12 point? You don't have to remember all that. It'll just be set for you. But we'll pick those. So we'll pick fonts that kind of go with whatever our cover looks like, whatever our color scheme and our template that we make, so it all works together. And then colors, obviously. So what I would do is let's just click on which colors for now. These are, gotta get the purples. Gotta like the purples. So we just click on some. I'm going to save those for now so that you have some colors to play with. Obviously, we'll decide on what we want. It was red and blue last year because it was very traditional because of the 50th anniversary and all that. Actually, it's been a couple of years, so we need to think about mixing it up a little bit. There's going to be still tons of red and blue with all the uniforms and, still be in there. But something to set it apart from year to year. So usually we pick a couple that are like the primary colors that we use a lot. So let's just say we use this purple and this green because they look kind of nice together. And then the accent colors would be the other ones, where we'd have set ones that like we don't use often, but we use them here and there. But we pick a couple so that those accent colors are consistent throughout the book. Otherwise, you have a mess kind of like this. You don't want that whole color palette in the book. It looks like a paint store, like where you go and pick out all the shades, paint your bedroom. All right, so we're going to go out of here. You know what? On here, I'm just going to click a couple fonts that you can play with. Let's add that one. Let's add that one. I'm just picking up at random, just so we have some. You can see. Okay, good. Now we have some fonts. So I'm going to click out of the library. Let's focus on the. Okay. Take two. I did this part already, but that's okay. I made a mistake. So we're out of the library, and now the other two options were the camera, which is the photos, which we'll do in a minute, and open your pages. So I'm going to open up my page, quick, and you can see that we're 0% complete, and you can see all the pages here. I haven't labeled them yet. I will by the time you log in. There'll be your name will be under one of these pages. They'll be alphabetical by last name. So first one up here. There's 36 of you, I think. So we'll go down. Each one is 2 pages. So if you're like a Z, you'll be down by like 72, 74, something like that. A's 4 and 5. So if you're like a J or a K, you're probably in the 30s. So scroll down until you find your name. And then once you do, just double click on your page. And you'll have a nice blank page. So our goal here is to learn the buttons today, just kind of play around a little bit, and get your photos in here. And that's the big goal today. Play with the things, learn what the buttons do, and get your photos logged in so that you can be ready to go. So we're going to start with the little toolbar here on the left. Top one is your pointer. When you hover over anything on here, it will the little word will point out, pop up, so that if you forget what it is, you can just hover over it. It'll tell you. So the pointer is anytime you want to move something. I don't even move yet, so I'll put something on here. The one underneath is it's got little mountains on it. That's a photo box. So I'm going to make a photo box, and I just click on the corner and I drag, just like I'm doing a slide or something like that. A lot of this feels a lot like you're making slides on Google Slides. So it'll feel really familiar. So I made a box there. If I want to do anything else, I need to go back to the pointer, because if I just click anywhere else, I'm going to make another photo box, right? And I don't want another photo box, so I'm going to click on my pointer, and these are where I want them. I'm like that for now. Right, so my pointer allows me to move it. It also allows me to change the shape of it. I want to make it a little bigger. So that's pretty easy. Underneath is obviously font. So you got to make a box for your text. And then type. I'll show you how to make it bigger and change it in a minute. Underneath that will be your, what we call your art boxes, so your shapes that we use for decoration. So you got lines, you got squares, circles, triangles, polygons, which you just click, keep clicking until you're done, and you can kind of make whatever shape it is that you want. And then you go back to where it started, and bam, here's my weird polygon. So, so if you want to do something else, and then there's sort of a freehand one where you're drawing the box. And then once you make it, you can use your pointer, and you can grab the little, like, little points. So let's say we had like a cutout letter R or something. You could use that little draw thing to, like, if you wanted to trace around the R, to put like a color behind it, because you can, like, make them, oops, make them different colors, right? And I left the space out. If I did a good job, I'd be able to fill it with the color, but I didn't make the ends meet. So like that. So those are your basic tools. Underneath that, you've got copy paste. I don't know why you'd use that instead of, I mean, you can. I'll teach you the shortcuts if you don't know them. Like Control C, Control D, or cut and paste. We'll teach you those. Underneath is your zoom, the little magnifying glass. So you can either just drag it, you can zoom way in, or you can zoom way out. So let's say I wanted to, I was working on my text up here, right? So let me zoom in so that I can actually read the text, right? Center. So let's say I'm typing, 10-point font, and I'm typing a little paragraph or a caption for my picture. I might want to zoom in just so I can see what I'm doing. Or, if I want to zoom out so I get the feel of what the page looks like for real. And it gives you the percentage. So obviously, if you want to do 100%, it's right in the middle. So that's like real life size, 100%. So if I were to grab my yearbook sitting here and hold up to the screen, it would be exactly that size. All right, so that's the left side. Take a minute, push pause, and make yourself a text box, make yourself a photo box, make yourself some shapes, play with that a little bit, and make sure you know what all the tools do. And then you push play again, and I'm back. So now we'll talk about the right side. Let me zoom out so you can see it's on the page. All right. So over on this side, I'm actually going to start at the bottom and work my way up. So the bottom one is your history, and you can see my last few moves that I made, my last few commands, whatever it is that I did. So if I screwed up, I could back up a little bit. It'll also have the spread versions. If I had more than one, it would show each time I saved it. So we should probably do that. If you haven't saved yet, remember it's a website, it might crash. So go up to the top left and just hover over it and save. Easy enough. And then when I go to my history and I go to spread version, I should see two. So I have two of them. So let's say I worked for a while and I was like, I don't like this new thing that I made, and I already saved it. So I've saved over my old work and I'm all sad. Well, I could just go back to do the last one, right? And if I hit confirm, it would revert to that, right? But I don't want that one. Go back to this. Confirm. So I'm sticking with this. Easy enough. So the one above it says page properties. So if I click that, it is where my errors are. So if you see a little number there, that means you have an error. I wouldn't worry about the errors right now. The errors are for when we go to submit the page, and it's warning us. So here, there's a warning, and it says I have an empty image error somewhere, right? So it's highlighted in yellow. It shows you where your errors are, and it's saying, hey, you have photo boxes on here that have nothing in them. So that's bad, right? So sometimes what happens is, we're working with something and it's on top, and we forget that there's a photo box underneath because it's mostly covered. So it might warn us in case we were supposed to have a photo in there, right? Even if it wouldn't show up in the book, it would just be blank space. But it might have the black lines around it, right? And that might mess up what's happening there. So that's what the errors are for. Underneath is page numbers. And eventually we'll decide what we want our page numbers to do. And if we needed to change them, we would do that. So let's say we wanted your page numbers to be purple or whatever. Sometimes you want to turn them off. So like on the senior pages sometimes with the design, the page numbers don't look right. Or like on the, let's say we have a full, like the whole page is covered with photos, like every little piece, like it's all the way to the edge. And we don't want to like a page number on top of the photo, we can just turn it off. So that's page properties. Oops, no, that was it. You see from the screen that I redid this part too. So the next one after the page properties is layers. And if you look, I have this one, this green one. I can't move it. It's in a locked layer. And this one is in my new layer, and I can move that one. So sometimes you have something in the background, like I want to do this fun little layered look or something, and I don't want to accidentally, the green one is where I want it. I don't want to accidentally move it. I can put it in its own layer, lock that, save it, good, we're done. And then I start a new layer on top, because I'm never going to move that green box again. It's going to be there forever. And then if I decided I did want to move it, I could just unlock it. So if we look at the layers, I have one that's locked. I could just click this lock and be like, no, I changed my mind, I want to move it around. Okay, now it's in the right place. Let me lock it. Go back to layer 1, and then move this one. So for right now, you don't really need to know. You don't need to play with that so much. I would wait until I get the basics down. But that's what that one does. Now we get to the good stuff. We start at the bottom because the bottom stuff isn't as fun. All the fun stuff's at the top. We have this one. If you hover over it, it says My Content. It's a toolbox, so you put everything in your little toolbox that you're going to use on your page. So when I click on it, you can see all the photos that I put in under my name. So when I put them in under my name, or football, for the football page, or homecoming for the homecoming page, whatever it is, I'm only going to see those pictures. So I don't have to scroll through all 2,000 pictures to find mine, right? I can just grab the ones that I want and stick them where I want. That's not a good choice. Let's pick a different one. I tried to put a square picture in a rectangle box. That doesn't work very good. Let's put this one in. There we go. So we got some dancers. So underneath photos, there's graphics, templates, backgrounds, all that stuff from the library, right? So if I were to go to the library and grab, let's go to graphics and an emoji. Remember I looked at the emojis? And I'm going to do, which one should I do? How about, it's almost October. Let's do the pumpkin. So I click on the pumpkin, and maybe I also want, I don't know, this is me right now, trying to, as I keep restarting. You can click more than one of them. Do that. If you hold down Control, you can just click the ones that you want. Maybe. It's Control on a PC, I'm on a Mac, it's Command on a Mac. Wait, hold down Control, and you can click the right ones. And then you just click Add to My Content. Sweet, 2 items were added. So I'm going to X out of Library, and I'm back on my page, and when I go to Graphics, Look at that. I got my guys right there. And I can just drag them. He's too big. Make him smaller. Too big. Let's make him smaller. Redrag. Whoa, I missed. No. Go back. Go back. There we go. See how the box lit up? I missed last time. So, easy enough. Gotta put him up there too. It looks lonely. Otherwise, you can drag from the corners. Cool. All right, so that's fun. And then the real fun is under the wrench, because the wrench is where you build things. You build things with the wrench. So the wrench lets you change anything that you've already made. So if I click on the picture, and let me zoom in a little bit, so we can kind of see the edge of the picture. Right now, there's nothing there. If I click on it, I can put a stroke around it, meaning I can put like a frame. I'm going to click yellow, and let's make it nice and thick so that you can see it. Bam! Like that. Cool. So that's fun. You do colors and stuff, and if you don't want it quite as bright, you can kind of tint it down a little bit so it's a little paler. You can do drop shadows, and drop shadows, I'm going to do it maybe on, oh, I can't because it's in the layer. Let me move my picture out of the way. Okay, so let's do a drop shadow. I'm going to enable a shadow. Do you see how, you see it underneath, popping up? And you can make it like further away from it. You can make it bigger. Like if I spread it out, it gets like dissolved. Right? I can change the angle. Maybe I don't want it on that side. Maybe I want it on that side. So see how it switched over. You can make it a color. All that fun stuff. So you can do some kind of cool effects with that. Opacity is maybe I don't want, maybe I want the pictures to be like the frame to be more see-through on it. I can play at the edges, like I can have my frame have little corners on them. Let's make it a different color so you can see it. So see how there's like the double lines there, so it's kind of a different kind of picture frame. Transform is you can flip stuff, which I don't know why it's not letting me do it, but theoretically you can flip it around. Rotation, the pictures don't have to be, you know, we don't want to do this too much, but there might be a reason to kind of change them. We can lock stuff in place individually, kind of like layers, but just this one thing. So when I try and move it, I can't move it because it's locked. So that's where you get all your fun. If I go to some text, just like when you're in Word or Slides or Docs or whatever, the text can be changed. Just make sure you highlight the text first, and you get different properties up here. You get fill, which will actually fill the, makes the letters turn the color. A stroke would be outlining the letters. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see that the color's in the middle, but there's like a yellow, I don't know, border on them. Text alignment is where, you know, you can put it left or right or center it. Double space, all that kind of stuff. Here's all the different fonts, and if you remember, I loaded in some fonts, so you can play with the fun other fonts. You can rotate, just like we did with the pictures. So that can be good times, and again, you can lock it in place. So, which one am I missing? How about this art box? So, the art box, oh, he's locked. Can't do it. I knew it. Oops. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Alright, let's try that again. So, why is this doing this? Because I never actually clicked on a box. If you just click here, it doesn't work. This is another one of those changes from the old program, so I gotta get used to it. So I made my box, and then you get all your options. So you can fill it, you can border it, you can shadow it. Right? So you got all the same kind of options. Opacity, how see-through you want it. The edges. Okay. Well, it's the same all the way around, so flipping it's not going to do anything. You rotate, all that good stuff. So, push pause. Go play. Make something pretty. I'm going to play. Alright, so after you played and you come back, last thing, and then we can make a page. Well, we got to show you how to load your photos in. So, your photos you probably took with your phone. And I'm going to push pause while I get my phone. Hold that thought. And I'm back. It's magic. So, the easiest way to get them from your phone to the program is to put them in your drive, right? So if you don't have the Drive app on your phone, I highly recommend that you put it on there. So let's see if we can see the icons. Might not be able to because of the glare. I don't know. The icon on it is the same as it is for the Apple. Have this little triangle thingy bobby there. So the easiest way is to just, go to your pictures and take a picture of me and my mom. We're in Italy on top of this tower a couple years ago. Good times. So I'm going to click it, and the little send button down there. And if you have the Drive app on your phone, it'll show up. So I just click it, and then I pick the folder to put it in, and then I have a folder full of my pictures. That's the easiest way. If you don't have the Drive app on your phone, even though you use Drive for school all the time, and it might not kill you to do it, you could email them from your phone to yourself at school, on your school email, and then just put them in Drive from there. That would work. So however you want to do it, just get them into your Drive, right? So if I go to my Drive, if they're on your computer, if you, I don't know exactly how your Chromebook works. Like if you downloaded them on your Chromebook and then you want to upload them into the Drive, something like that, you just hit File Upload and pick where you want them to go, pick the picture. Easy peasy. So once you're in your Drive, in Encore here, you're going to go to the photo library, the green one, and click the green plus down here, plus for adding. I'm going to click it, and go to Browse, and obviously this looks different because it's on my Mac, but it would show your Drive, and you just click one of the pictures, and what picture should I do? I'm going to do, I'll do Miss Kitty. I like this picture. So, down at the bottom, it says type the name of a collection for this photo. So I'm just going to type my name. Mine is already going to show up because I've already done it. If you're not in there, oops, I type like Smith, I would just hit plus and it would add it. So then the next time I type Smith, it'll show up. Maybe. When I do the next picture. Like I did Jones before, so J pops up. So I'm going to take Smith out so nobody gets confused. And I just hit upload. And done. Great. So in my little library, the total library over here is all photos. So all the photos that get uploaded from all the different people will show up here. But if I click on just the category I'm working on, I'm doing the football page. I'm doing that. He's not a football player. I just click on whichever one that it is that I'm working on. Most of mine are in examples, but under Hedanic, and then there it'll be, right? So then you X out up here, and I go to my toolbox, and all my example pictures are in there. Cool, cool. So anything that I place is going to show up in my little folder. The other way to do it is if you, let's say I have my box all ready to go. It's nice and big. Everybody likes big photos in their book. I can go to the picture and just click it. Remember what I did with the graphic, and I said add to my content, right? That's how you're going to get it into your toolbox. I kind of skipped that step because I knew I had pictures in there. So I added this little cat picture, and I need to click it to add to my content so it's in the toolbox. If it's already set up and I know where it's going, I'm looking for that one picture to finish my page, I can also add it directly to my page. So if I just click add my page and just click where I want it, it'll go right there. Oh, little sunshine. She's on top of the door. That's the ceiling. She sleeps up there. And she just hangs over there and like looks at me when I'm like getting ready for bed. Like, what are you doing? She's down. So, easy enough. So your mission is to get the photos into the library. That is your primary goal. So again, you hit plus, browse, pick a picture. Let's do, I don't know, me and my friend here. We have to go for game. And I put my name so it's under the right thing. I hit upload. Done. Go to my name. Here's all the ones I uploaded. Click my picture, and I say add my content. So it's in my toolbox. And then I close it. Go to my toolbox. Photos. There is me and my friend Chelsea. She's my bestie. She's a dentist. Well, no. She wishes she was a dentist. Dental assistant. She would make more money if she was the dentist. But, yeah, so that's why she has nice teeth. Smiles. So, once you have all your photos in, you're going to be all set to go. Good times? Good times. And the next time, we will take your photos, make your page out of it. Ask questions. I'm here to help. If you are finishing after class or, I don't know how long total this is now, probably about 45 minutes. Might not have time that first time, but whenever you're doing it, if you have questions, message me. Like you said, if you're doing it during class, I'm sitting in that chat room just waiting for your questions. So please ask. But feel free to mess around and play with it, but just make sure you only play on your own page so you don't mess up other people's stuff. When I go to check your work, it's really obvious whether you did anything, because I can just, oops. See, this is what happens when you don't save. See how it's like an old version of the page? Go back. Don't leave without saving. That's really bad. There we go. Now that it's saved, when I go here, bang, there it is. So it's really easy for me. You're going to have your names on there. Bam, 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 bam. I can see that you did your work, did your stuff. The other way I can tell is I can go to photos, and your name will be over here. Nice. Have fun. See ya.